7 foods older adults who want to live past 90 should absolutely avoid. Longevity isn't a matter of luck, it's shaped by the choices we make every single day. In our later years, we all dream of a long life, not just in years, but in quality. Mental clarity, physical vitality, independence, and joyful time spent with children and grandchildren. Unfortunately, many people unknowingly consume foods that silently shorten their lifespan, simply because those foods are familiar, easy to eat, or mistakenly thought to be nourishing. In a world overrun by processed and industrial foods, our daily meals may be the very thing threatening our well-being. Choosing the right foods has become the golden key to determining how many years we can live healthfully and independently. People who live long lives aren't just born with good genes, they know how to avoid the things that quietly steal their time, especially after age 60, when the body starts to weaken, blood vessels become fragile, and the liver and kidneys slow down. Even a packet of instant noodles, a can of soda, or a slice of cake each day can become the tipping point. Among the countless foods we eat, 7 seemingly harmless items are in fact silently damaging the liver, attacking the heart, triggering strokes, and drastically shortening our remaining years. This article will help uncover each of these silent enemies, not to scare, but to awaken awareness. Only when we recognize what's quietly wearing us down can we take bold steps to change, reclaiming the years ahead to live longer, stronger, and more meaningfully, by the side of our loved ones. 1. Processed meats, the silent enemy of senior longevity. Processed meats like sausages, bacon, ham, cold cuts, and cured meats are convenient and widely consumed, especially in fast meals. However, for older adults, particularly those aiming to live healthily past the age of 90, these foods are extremely harmful and should be completely eliminated from the daily diet. The damage processed meats do to longevity comes from multiple fronts: heart health, cancer risk, metabolism, and even cognitive decline. First and foremost, processed meats are packed with salt, preservatives, and nitrites, additives used to extend shelf life, enhance color, and intensify flavor. But inside the human body, especially when cooked at high temperatures, nitrites can convert into nitrosamines, highly carcinogenic compounds, particularly linked to colorectal cancer. Epidemiological studies have shown that consuming just 50 grams of processed meat per day, the equivalent of 1 sausage, can raise the risk of colon cancer by up to 18%. Beyond cancer, processed meats are high in saturated fats and LDL, bad cholesterol. These fats accumulate in the arteries, leading to atherosclerosis, narrowing of the blood vessels, and reduced blood flow to the heart and brain. For older adults, this directly increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and vascular dementia, conditions that drastically impair quality of life and shorten lifespan. One often overlooked issue is chronic inflammation triggered by processed meats. Regular consumption keeps the body in a constant state of low-grade inflammation, a condition scientists refer to as inflammaging. This chronic inflammation damages cells, tissues, joints, liver, kidneys, and even the brain, accelerating aging and systemic decline. Moreover, processed meats contain virtually no fiber, yet fiber is crucial for older adults to support digestion and regulate cholesterol. A diet high in processed meat but low in vegetables can lead to constipation, gut microbiota imbalance, reduced nutrient absorption, weakened immunity, and even depression due to disruption of the gut-brain axis. Finally, there's the toxic load that builds up in the liver and kidneys from regular consumption of industrially processed food. With age, the body's detoxification systems slow down, making it harder to process preservatives, additives, and heavy metals. This places enormous stress on the liver and kidneys, increasing the risk of chronic liver and kidney failure, conditions that can shave decades off a person's life if left unchecked. In short, no matter how convenient or tasty they may seem, processed meats are a ticking time bomb for older adults. From cancer and cardiovascular damage to neurological decline and weakened immunity, these seemingly harmless foods can be deadly. If seniors truly wish to live long, healthy, and independent lives without relying on medication, saying a firm no to sausages, bacon, and other processed meats is a life-saving decision. 2. Fried foods, the invisible killer that slowly erodes senior longevity. Fried foods have become a staple in modern cuisine, beloved for their rich flavor, crispy texture, and satisfying taste. But for older adults whose bodies are already in the process of aging and whose circulatory and digestive systems are less efficient, fried foods are among the most dangerous and should be strictly avoided if a longer life is the goal. The frying process, especially when oils are reused multiple times at high temperatures, produces toxic substances such as acrylamide, a chemical classified by the World Health Organization as a probable human carcinogen. Fried items like French fries, donuts, and crispy fish often contain high amounts of acrylamide. With weakened immune systems, seniors are especially vulnerable to the cumulative toxic effects, which can damage cells, disrupt metabolic functions, and even harm DNA. Fried foods are also loaded with saturated fats and trans fats, two major culprits behind arterial plaque buildup, increased LDL bad cholesterol, and decreased HDL good cholesterol. The consequences include a heightened risk of heart attack, stroke, and heart failure. All serious cardiovascular events that hit older adults harder, progress more rapidly, and often leave permanent damage or result in death. In addition, fried foods tend to be high in sodium due to heavy use of salt and dipping sauces, further contributing to high blood pressure, the silent killer afflicting many seniors. Hypertension damages the heart and the tiny vessels in the kidneys and brain, leading to memory loss, kidney failure, and stroke, all of which directly shorten life expectancy. Even more concerning, fried foods increase inflammation throughout the body, a condition known as chronic low-grade inflammation. This slowly destroys nerve cells, muscle tissue, and blood vessel walls, accelerating aging, muscle loss, joint pain, and neurological disorders. Some studies suggest that diets rich in fried foods can significantly raise the risk of Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia in the elderly. Moreover, fried foods are nutritionally poor. They offer virtually no vitamins, minerals, or fiber. Seniors who consume these types of foods often suffer from hidden malnutrition, where they get enough calories but lack essential nutrients. This leads to muscle weakness, reduced lean mass, lowered immunity, and a higher risk of persistent minor illnesses. In conclusion, fried foods should be the first to be eliminated from a senior's diet if they wish to live longer, healthier, and avoid chronic, life-threatening diseases. Instead, opt for steaming, boiling, or slow-cooking methods to preserve nutrients, aid digestion, and avoid burdening the liver, heart, and kidneys, organs that naturally weaken with age. 3. Soft drinks and energy beverages, the silent destroyers of vital organs in older adults. In today's modern world, soft drinks and energy beverages are often marketed as instant energy boosters for the body and mind. However, for older adults who are naturally experiencing the effects of aging and a weakening immune system, these drinks are among the most dangerous. They silently degrade health, accelerate disease progression, and shorten life expectancy. Not only are they overloaded with excessive amounts of sugar, but they also severely impact the heart, bones, kidneys, and even brain function. The most alarming aspect of soft drinks is their extremely high refined sugar content, mainly from concentrated fructose or high fructose corn syrup. Just one 330 milliliter can of soda can contain 7 to 10 teaspoons of sugar, far exceeding the recommended daily limit for those over 60. Refined sugars not only cause a rapid spike in blood sugar, but also trigger a strong insulin response, placing tremendous strain on the pancreas, which in older adults is already less efficient. Over time, this contributes to type 2 diabetes, metabolic disorders, and increased visceral fat, three of the leading causes of premature death. Beyond metabolic disruption, refined sugars are powerful pro-inflammatory agents. When sugar enters the bloodstream, it can bind with proteins to form compounds called AGE, advanced glycation end products, which damage blood vessels, destroy connective tissues, and trigger cellular-level inflammation. Chronic inflammation is a known root cause of many age-related diseases such as Alzheimer's, osteoarthritis, kidney failure, and cancer. In addition to sugar, soft drinks often contain phosphoric acid, which adds tartness and a refreshing sensation. Unfortunately, this compound significantly reduces calcium absorption and increases calcium loss through urine. Frequent soda consumption is associated with lower bone density and higher risk of fractures, an especially dangerous outcome for seniors, as it leads to reduced mobility, complications, and diminished longevity. Energy drinks are even more harmful due to their excessively high caffeine content. For older adults with sensitive cardiovascular systems, caffeine can trigger arrhythmias, sudden spikes in blood pressure, insomnia, and heart palpitations. Persistent sleep disturbances can lead to depression, memory decline, and weakened immunity, all of which directly affect quality of life and lifespan. Let's not forget the artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives found in these drinks, substances with no nutritional value, but that place a heavy detox burden on the liver and kidneys. These organs, already slowing down with age, are less able to cope with toxic overload. Moreover, sugary drinks reduce appetite and often replace healthier beverages like water, herbal teas, or natural juices, causing seniors to skip meals, lack essential nutrients, and fall into a state of frailty. In short, soft drinks and energy beverages are not just nutritionally empty, they're full of toxins harmful to the aging body. To live longer and healthier, older adults should completely avoid these drinks and instead prioritize water, gentle herbal teas, unsweetened natural juices, and sugar-free plant-based milks. A simple decision today can add many years of vibrant life tomorrow. 4. Pastries, cookies, and refined sugar foods, the hidden culprits behind accelerated aging and shortened lifespan. Many older adults maintain a habit of eating pastries, cookies, fruit preserves, or highly processed sweet snacks, simply because they're tasty, convenient, and easy to eat. But behind that sweet indulgence lies a host of hidden dangers that quietly and frighteningly reduce lifespan. Refined sugars, especially white sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and artificial sweeteners, are key contributors to chronic disease, premature aging, and metabolic dysfunction in older adults. The aging body processes sugar far less efficiently than a younger one. The pancreas, the organ responsible for insulin production, loses function with age, making it harder to regulate blood sugar levels. When seniors consume sugary treats, blood glucose spikes rapidly, prompting the pancreas to release large amounts of insulin. Repeated over time, this leads to pancreatic exhaustion and insulin resistance, a pre-diabetic state that often progresses to type 2 diabetes. This condition damages blood vessels, nerves, vision, kidneys, and the heart. But diabetes is just the tip of the iceberg. Refined sugar also fuels inflammation throughout the body. Excess sugar forces the liver to convert it into fat, contributing to fatty liver disease, high triglyceride levels, and chronic systemic inflammation. This inflammation is a core trigger for many age-related diseases, including Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, cancer, cardiovascular disease, and joint degeneration. Sugar consumption also accelerates aging of the skin and connective tissues. Sugar binds with proteins in the blood to form AGEs, advanced glycation end products, which break down collagen and elastin, two essential components that keep skin firm, joints supple, and blood vessels strong. The result? Faster skin wrinkling, joint pain, varicose veins, and even early cognitive decline as AGEs affect neurons in the brain's cortex. Sugary foods also harm digestion and immunity. Processed sweets are typically low in fiber and high in sugar, which reduces beneficial gut bacteria. This imbalance leads to poor nutrient absorption, constipation, intestinal inflammation, and a weakened immune system, making the body more prone to illness and slower to recover. Furthermore, refined sugar disrupts dopamine production, the brain chemical responsible for happiness and motivation. Seniors who eat sugary foods frequently can become emotionally dependent on sugar, develop unhealthy eating habits, and enter a cycle of weight gain, metabolic disorders, and memory loss. Worse yet, sugar has been linked to late-life depression, sapping the will to live, and quietly shortening one's lifespan. In conclusion, pastries, cookies, and refined sugary foods are not only destructive to the pancreas and cardiovascular system, they are also lifespan thieves in disguise. For seniors who wish to live longer and healthier, these industrial sweets should be completely eliminated and replaced with healthier natural alternatives like low-sugar fruits, sweet potatoes, chia seeds, and unsweetened plant-based milks. Making the right food choices today lays the foundation for stronger, healthier years ahead. 5. Instant noodles and packaged convenience foods. Convenience at the cost of longevity. Instant noodles and ready-made foods, such as packaged porridge, instant soups, quick-cooked noodles, and instant powders, are increasingly common in the daily meals of many older adults. Their appeal lies in being easy to prepare, soft to chew, tasty, and requiring little effort. However, this very convenience hides numerous health risks for the elderly. These industrial foods, seemingly harmless, are quietly trading off years of vibrant, clear-minded life in old age. The most immediate danger lies in the extremely high sodium content. A single packet of instant noodles can contain between 500 to 2,000 milligrams of salt, equal to or even exceeding the recommended daily limit of 1,500 milligrams for adults over 60. Excess sodium increases osmotic pressure in the blood, causing water retention and raising blood pressure, a leading cause of stroke, heart failure, and kidney failure. For seniors with pre-existing heart or kidney conditions, just a few servings of instant noodles per week can trigger acute hypertension or full-body swelling. Another serious issue is the presence of unhealthy fats. Instant noodles are typically flash-fried during production to prolong shelf life and create a crisp texture. If the oils used are of poor quality, they often contain saturated fats and trans fats, two of the most harmful types for cardiovascular and brain health. These fats elevate LDL bad cholesterol, cause arterial plaque buildup, trigger lipid disorders, and promote chronic inflammation. For the elderly, this means a significantly higher risk of heart attack, stroke, memory loss, and motor impairment. One cannot ignore the severe nutrient deficiency in instant noodles and packaged meals. They lack fiber, essential vitamins, minerals, and high-quality protein. A typical instant noodle meal may look filling with its noodle block, seasoning sachets, and oil packet, but it offers no nutritional balance. If seniors replace fresh meals with instant options, they may suffer from hidden malnutrition, leading to weakened immunity, muscle wasting, memory decline, bone loss, and chronic fatigue. These foods also contain numerous synthetic additives, such as monosodium glutamate (MSG), preservatives, colorings, flavorings, and thickeners, all of which require detoxification by the liver and kidneys. As these organs decline with age, prolonged exposure leads to toxin accumulation in tissues, causing liver dysfunction, kidney damage, chronic fatigue, and even cancer. Some studies warn that consuming instant noodles more than twice per week significantly increases the risk of metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions including abdominal obesity, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and abnormal cholesterol levels that greatly reduce lifespan. Moreover, instant noodles can become mildly addictive, especially with their salty taste, oily mouthfeel, enticing aroma, and fast satiety. Seniors may grow dependent on their convenience and flavor, gradually abandoning the habit of cooking with fresh ingredients. Repeated reliance on these products narrows dietary diversity, causing severe nutritional deficiencies, faster cognitive decline, muscle loss, and accelerated cellular aging. In conclusion, while easy to prepare, instant noodles and packaged ready-to-eat foods are far from appropriate for those who wish to live long and well. For older adults, each packet represents a trade-off between convenience and long-term health. To live longer, remain sharp, and avoid illness, seniors should completely avoid processed instant foods and instead opt for simple, wholesome meals like oatmeal porridge, steamed sweet potatoes, lightly cooked vegetables, steamed fish, or homemade soup. Senior health is not built on convenience, but on wise daily choices. 6. Fast food. Burgers, processed pizza, fries. The delicious trap that trades away years of healthy living. Fast food is a familiar part of modern life. With its appealing taste, convenience, and widespread availability, items like hamburgers, processed pizza, fries, fried chicken, and cheese-laden sandwiches are beloved by many, including older adults. But for seniors who hope to extend their lives and maintain good health, fast food is a dietary trap that must be avoided entirely. Fast food items are typically extremely high in calories. A single burger or pizza slice can deliver 500 to over 1,000 calories, primarily from refined carbohydrates, saturated fats, and trans fats. The aging body digests and metabolizes these poorly, leading to visceral fat buildup, elevated triglycerides, high blood pressure, and increased risk of fatty liver and type 2 diabetes. These metabolic disorders are the foundation for cardiovascular events, kidney failure, stroke, and dementia. Beyond the unhealthy fats, fast food contains excessive sodium. A single meal can carry 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of salt, far exceeding the daily requirement for seniors. This high salt intake raises blood pressure, damages blood vessel walls, causes water retention, and accelerates vascular aging. With an already weakened cardiovascular system, eating fast food regularly is like shortening each heartbeat over time. Fast food is also severely lacking in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, leaving seniors full of calories but starving for essential nutrients. This leads to hidden malnutrition, marked by dull skin, muscle weakness, fatigue, forgetfulness, insomnia, poor immunity, slow healing, and increased susceptibility to infections. This is increasingly common among elderly populations in urban settings. Physically damaging as it is, fast food also takes a toll on mental health. High intakes of refined carbs and unhealthy fats increase neuroinflammation and disrupt dopamine and serotonin levels, neurotransmitters that govern mood. Seniors who consume fast food frequently are at higher risk of anxiety, depression, cognitive decline, and sleep disturbances, all of which reduce joy and shorten lifespan indirectly. Fast food is often paired with sodas, bottled sauces, ketchup, and mayonnaise, further increasing the burden on the liver, kidneys, and blood vessels. Together, this forms a toxic combo that silently wears down the body's critical organs each day. In summary, fast food is more than a quick meal. It's a direct path to metabolic disorders, immune decline, and premature death in older adults. To live longer and preserve quality of life, seniors should stay far away from fast food and instead embrace home-cooked meals made from real ingredients, low in salt and oil, and rich in natural vegetables. This is the proven approach followed by many long-living communities around the world. 7. Animal liver, especially from industrial farming, the nutritious trap that weakens senior liver and kidneys and shortens lifespan. Animal liver, such as pork, beef, or chicken liver, has long been regarded as a blood-nourishing food due to its high levels of iron, vitamin A, and B12. However, for older adults, especially in the modern era of industrialized food, liver is no longer the superfood it's often thought to be. On the contrary, it is one of the foods that may damage liver and kidney function, disrupt metabolism, accelerate aging, and significantly diminish quality of life and lifespan. First and foremost, it's important to understand that the liver is the primary detoxification organ in animals. It filters the blood and breaks down medications, hormones, and toxins from food, air, and the environment. In industrial farms today, livestock are routinely injected with vaccines, antibiotics, growth hormones, and fed commercial feed. All these substances, including heavy metals like arsenic, lead, and cadmium, can accumulate in the liver and be passed into the human body upon consumption. For seniors with already weakened liver and kidneys, ingesting toxin-laden animal liver is like fueling the fire in a worn-out organ. Another concern is the liver's extremely high vitamin A content in the form of retinol, a highly absorbable but potentially toxic form when consumed in excess. Just 100 grams of beef liver can provide 6 to 8 times the daily vitamin A requirement for an older adult. Overconsumption can damage liver cells, contribute to osteoporosis, cause headaches, dry skin, digestive disorders, and significantly increase fracture risk, a leading cause of long-term immobility and early death among the elderly. Animal liver is also exceptionally high in cholesterol. On average, 100 grams of beef liver contains around 400 milligrams of cholesterol, double the recommended daily intake for older adults. Regular consumption raises LDL, bad cholesterol, accelerates arterial plaque buildup, increases blood pressure, and elevates the risk of heart attack and stroke. Furthermore, animal liver is rich in saturated fats and purines, compounds linked directly to elevated uric acid levels and gout. Older adults typically have slower metabolism and reduced kidney filtration, making them more susceptible to joint pain, inflammation, and chronic kidney disease, a major cause of reduced lifespan globally. In summary, animal liver, especially from industrial sources, is not the miracle blood booster for seniors that traditional beliefs suggest. For older adults striving for a long, clear-minded, and independent life, removing liver from the diet is a wise and proactive step. Instead, choose healthier sources of iron and vitamin A, such as small whole fish, egg yolks, carrots, pumpkins, and dark leafy greens. Foods that are easier to digest, toxin-free, and still nourish the blood, skin, and immune system. Conclusion: want to live long? Start by eliminating what's silently killing you. A 90-year-old who walks confidently, chats joyfully with grandchildren, and lives independently, it's not a fantasy. It's the outcome of years of right choices, especially the choice to eliminate what should never be on the plate. No one can live long by eating instant noodles instead of greens, drinking soda instead of water, or thinking sausages and pastries are rescue foods for old age. Longevity doesn't come from supplements, it comes from knowing when to say no. The 7 foods we've explored, from processed meats and sugary drinks to fried foods and industrial animal liver, not only cause disease but also rob older adults of the right to live healthfully, freely, and with dignity. So if you, or someone you care about, are entering the later years of life, start treating every meal as a form of longevity medicine. Begin today. Clean out the kitchen of these 7 harmful foods and replace them with fresh vegetables, natural fruits, fish, whole grains, clean water, and meals made with love and care. Living long is not difficult. Living well isn't either, as long as you start by saying the right no. And it's never too late to begin living a longer, healthier life.